Well, hey. Happy late night and early morning to our favorite listeners. How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of 10 Minute Talk with Aquisha. That's me. And before we jump into episode 10, where we talk about not letting our feelings dictate our actions, I just want to let you all know that tonight's episode is brought to you by Aquisha Harris and Company, a personal and professional development company who helps those outgrow the status quo. I love that that rhymes, okay? We want to help those outgrow the status quo, okay? So for more information on that, go to bit.ly/Akisha Harris. Make sure the A is capital and that H is capital. Join our mailing list, stay in the know. We want you to be involved on all the upcoming things that we have going on, freebies, digital downloads, courses, all of that stuff that we have, okay? So let's jump into it, people. Can I tell you how difficult it is, number one, to not allow your feelings to dictate your actions? Because sometimes those feelings we get are absolutely justified. They are so very justified, okay? Like somebody says something smart, you want to clap back and say something else to them. Somebody put their hands on you, something might go down. I'm gonna put my hands on you too. You know what I mean? Like certain things I feel like are cause and effect, actions, reactions. But there comes a point in our lives where we have to know that our feelings are just that. They're feelings. They're emotions that we have. It's all a part of our human experience, and we cannot allow our emotions to run our lives. There's so many people out here, especially on reality TV, that allow their emotions to dictate how they behave, how they act, how they conduct themselves, conduct their business, run their families, etc., etc. Now, you could think of a lot of emotions that we have. We get happy, we get sad, we get angry, you might feel enraged, we get scared, we get timid, we may get, what's another feeling, hungry. That's a real thing. Um but we have to know when it's healthy and when it's not healthy. Okay, now if you find yourself throwing a tantrum like a child, berating people. And that's a lot of what we do as adults. We throw tantrums when something doesn't go our way, or um, it's out of our control. Somebody's not listening to us. Things weren't done exactly the way that we said. And, we feel the need to make ourselves heard. Many times we're throwing a tantrum. We're not even conducting ourselves in a way that is becoming or inviting. You know what I mean? Like you coming at people and tearing them down, calling them names, everything but a child of God, and you almost become another person. That's when it's an issue. Or let's say something on a very, very low level where you have an opportunity. Let's say we set out to, I don't know, okay. Let's say we have a fundraiser or whatever, and you set out your contribution is going to be $1,000 in a month to raise that money, and you've already uh, got all the resources, you have all the tools, you went to the campaign training, you have everything that you need for your group in order to raise $1,000. But let's say um, you're just tired that day, or you just had a bad day and you just absolutely don't feel like it. You know what the objective was, right? You know what you were responsible for doing, but it's like, hey, I just can't today. I don't got it. I'm not doing it because it's not in me. I don't have it. Now, we can look at that two ways. You can look at it one way and say, well, you know what your obligation was, and you know that as an adult, life be lifing, right? Life is going to happen, but you have to have some kind of reservoir, some kind of resolve in you that is going to push past what you feel in that moment and then make the necessary adjustments after that, so that we don't run into the same same problems over and over and over. Or you can look at this as, well, you know what? Take your time because you have been stressed out, and self-care is a thing, and we need to, sometimes we just need mental breaks, and we need to just settle down and not allow ourselves to get overwhelmed. We can look at both of those, and both of those can absolutely be a solution or absolutely be quote unquote a reason. But I want us, since these things are personal, I'm just the outside looking in, giving scenarios. But since these situations are personal to us, we have to examine what the motive is behind those feelings, those actions, those decisions. So let's say one day you are tired and you may legitimately be feeling fatigued, like you went to bed late, or you stayed up binge watching, or you went to help a friend and you didn't get done until later. You had to study because it was a, whatever the situation is. The end result was tiredness. You were tired and ready to go to sleep. You just didn't have the energy to push forward. Now, we can look at that and ask ourselves, who made the decision to go to bed late? Who made the decision to help a friend, and this is the end result? Who made these decisions? Did anybody force you into what you had to do that caused you to be up late? Like sometimes we really have to just check that. And we can make an excuse. We talked about excuses the other day. We can make excuses. We can make excuses all day long, but there has to be something in us that pushes past what we feel. Our feelings are not in charge of us. We have feelings, and our feelings should not have us, right? So, and let's stick to the example where we're tired. Yeah, you can be tired, but you still have an obligation. That obligation should weigh more than your fatigue. That obligation should be more important than your excuse or whatever reason you're giving yourself not to do it. If and people forget the fact that people are counting on you. Forget that. But the fact that you made a commitment and you gave your word, I feel like we should be more accountable to that. We should be more men and women of our word, doing what we say we're going to do, and actually doing it, not just being flighty and saying things and just going off on a whim. And you know what? Sometimes when we get into these, here's another issue that I see. Sometimes we get into these situations out because our emotions drove us to commit. Let's just say you're an excited person and you like new things and you like to meet new people. So when we heard about this fundraising campaign in this group, it's like, oh yeah, absolutely. I'm here for it. I could do whatever y'all need, blah, 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 blah. And then it gets time to do the work, and it's not what you anticipated. The fun isn't there. The support isn't there. The sponsorship isn't there. The people you thought were going to give didn't give. So now you're working extra hard and you didn't account for any of this, and you want to call it quits. I really, really believe that we need to just do a self checkup, right? An internal checkup, not even like our body. I'm talking about our soul, mind, will, and emotions. What's in your mind? What's in your heart? Before we make a commitment, I think we need to examine what's going on in our heart and in our head, so that we are not driven by our feelings. You may be somebody who is in a state of just being downtrodden. You may you may still be grieving. You may have people in different situations. I'm not negating that. I'm not reducing the severity of those major situations. But even that has an expiration date. Even that has a place where you you should be progressing, right? There shouldn't be a case where we stay in the same state, same downtrodden state, or same just decline for extended periods of time. That's unhealthy. And if you are, I guarantee you that you're allowing your feelings to dictate your actions and inaction, right? Because this world has created such a, I don't even want to call it a safe place because that's the healthy thing. But I think that this world and this society has created so many pockets for people to be average and mediocre and to stay there, to make it okay to not reach your full potential or be challenged in an area where you feel complacent. I feel like our world has made it extra easy to do that. But look, I came to disrupt that notion, babe. Mm-hmm. I am a disruptor for sure because I know that God has put more in us and He has given us access to more. And there are people in this world who absolutely have no limits and no boundaries and are free thinkers and thought leaders. Even if they're not thinking the most sane thing, or even if they're not thinking for the benefit of the population or, humanity, they're still challenging themselves to go beyond what average is and to outgrow what the status quo is. Like that's the thing. And that's what I want us to get into. Okay. So go to bit.ly/Aquisha Harris. Make sure that A and that H is capital and set up a discovery call. If you don't feel led to set up a discovery call, join our mailing list. Okay. Go on there and say, yep, subscribe, name, email, but call me. Yes, email me. Let me know what's going on. Because we really got to get out of this place of complacency. And yeah, that's just it. Like, don't we want that? I know it has to be more. And I'm only talking to those people who know that there's more. There is more to life than what I'm going through. There's more to life than what I've experienced thus far. There's more to life. Like, I deserve. Think of all of the things that you've been through, all the tears that you've cried, all the beads of sweat that came off your brow, all the times that you were rejected, all the times that you were hurt, all the times that you were disappointed, and how many times you had to pick yourself up from that. Or if you're still picking yourself up, if you're limping along, rolling along, moving along, however. But just think about how far you've come and think about how far you still have to go. And I guarantee you the difference between those two things is coaches and mentorship and a community of people who want the best for you, a community of people who are like minded and are willing to go the extra mile with you and help you stay the course and help you stay accountable. That's what we look to provide. Okay. Yes. Trying to let y'all know. We're gonna love it on this next phase of life. In this next season. We're gonna have so much fun. I'm excited. But I look forward to talking to y'all and in the comment section and all of that stuff. I look forward to emailing you all because what are you going to do? Yeah, you're going to sign up. Go to bit.ly/Aquisha Harris, capital A, capital H, baby. I look forward to joining, just to engaging with you all in our community. Yeah, let's get her done. .com, .net, .tv. All right, I'm off my soapbox. Thank you so much for joining us this late night and early morning where we come together, 10-minute talk. That's it, just 10 minutes and a little bit over 10 minutes sometimes. Just a little bit, Monday through Friday. All right, I hope you have a great rest of the night or early morning, and I hope you have a great rest. I hope you have an even wonderful tomorrow. Okay. Talk to you